like I hit a double note there on the trombone. DK here with Big B. As always, Big B, I need to share this. So I'm going to let you chat with the people.
Oh, I was just charging my phone. Hold on. And
Your phone's not going to.
right before we went on, I had to clean my glasses. I don't know how you feel because you wear glasses as well, but I cannot stand any little speck in my vision on my glasses. If it's a little streak, a little piece of dust, I can't stand anything in my vision. So I'm like a freak. I have to clean it wherever I am. I've been driving and I've noticed something, and I turn to my wife and say, do you have a rag or something? I hand her my glasses, and I'll drive on a wing and a prayer until those glasses are clean and put my glasses back on.
I'm exactly the same. And like people say to me, are you okay? Do you have a twitch? And I'll be like, no, there's a spot in my glasses. It's the worst thing.
It seriously is. I check my glasses. I hold them up to the light just to see, and it looks okay. Then I put them on, and there are those times like tonight, I put them on and I could see something. I got to take them off, and I get the special glasses cleaning rag that you get at the optometrist, and I got to clean my glasses.
Now, do you find your eye starts to twitch, or you find you're straining? Because of that spot.
No, because I'll immediately take them off and clean them. I won't. I won't sit there for long periods of time with it.
Huh? You waste no time.
None whatsoever. Right. Like I said, even if I'm driving and I notice something, I take my glasses off and I'll ask my wife. I said, here, please clean them. I'll put them back on. The only time I would have to live with it is if I'm driving by myself, in which case I'll wait till I get to a red light, take my glasses off, and use my shirt or something to try to clean it. And then when the green light comes back on, put my glasses on and go.
So you're reading my mind, because I was going to say, what do you do if you're alone?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Otherwise, here in the studio / my office, I have those glasses cleaning rags strewn about. So wherever I am, I'm within arm's reach of one.
Right.
But yeah, when I'm in the car by myself, I got to wait till I get to a red light.
Gotcha. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night and had that happen?
Well, I'm not wearing my glasses to bed.
No, but I mean, okay, let's say first thing in the morning.
Right.
You wake up, you put your glasses on, all the lights aren't on. Maybe there's a little bit of daylight.
Oh, well, luckily for me, my eyesight isn't that bad where I need my glasses on at all times. So I wake up in the morning, I don't need to put my glasses on. I put my glasses on when I start working. But my main issue is distance. So, things close up, I'm okay. Although I do have bifocals. I'm getting old. I'm at that point where I have progressive glasses. So it goes from, far. I can see far away now, and now I can see closer to me. But my vision isn't that bad where I can't see anything. When I wake up in the morning, I'm fine. I can wander around the house with no glasses on.
Welcome to the club is all I can say.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a big show coming up. The timer up there says 5 minutes. I've got a son of Joe Biden show or story. You're gonna like that.
Well, there was a whole lot of son of Joe Biden stories going on.
You're still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Are you here?
Well, you just stopped.
Oh,
in the middle of your sentence, you said there's a whole lot.
Oh, you missed. Yeah, I kept going. There was for some. I guess my audio dropped out. I said there's been a whole lot of Joe Biden's son stories going on this week.
Yeah. So we'll touch on that. Of course, we've got some what I thought again was a dry news week. There's been some dynamite stuff that has popped up in the last little while. We'll get to that. big Halloween announcement. You told me I could not disappoint you with a fake Bigfoot person or a clown that's not scary. And
Well, the fake Bigfoot person was better than that shitty clown that never even bothered showing up.
Right. And we'll touch on that. We're live here on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, as well on Facebook Live and at cavecrewradio.com. Season 7 is well underway. Also this week coming up, we do have the English word of the week. Choo Choo Stu was supposed to record something, but he's far too busy. I do have a photograph to show on air of him in his new position.
I can't wait.
He looks very uncomfortable now that he's moved into the management trainer position. But we are 3 minutes away, according to the clock.
Can I
want to close in on the pre-show before we get into the meat and potatoes?
I do. I have a question.
What's that?
And it concerns the poster that we're looking at right now.
Okay.
As I look at it, where it says episode 2 live Friday, October 16th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, right underneath, I guess that's supposed to say weird.
Weird news.
But weird doesn't have
it's kind of like weird. Like
I was going to say, weird doesn't have an L in it.
But it's kind of different. It's like a weird, like around the world.
Aha, like a weird world news.
Yes. Yes, our stories are not specific to any particular place.
Gotcha. Okay. Now I understand.
All right, good. As long as you understand, I'm comfortable with it. All right, 2:06 to go. This seems to be the longest pre-show of all. We usually have lots to talk. Maybe we should have talked about Biden, but that's a kickoff story. Is there anything exciting in the school world or anything like that? Is nothing going on?
Well, now I think the latest thing is now they're going to have random COVID testing in the schools. You know, like athletes get random drug tests.
Yeah.
The students now are going to get apparently random COVID testing because there's a couple of hot spots here in New York. So our asshole governor and our shitbag mayor have decided everybody has to pay for these small hotspots. So all the kids, even in like my area, which is not a hotspot at all, and the school does their own personal, checkings according to, I guess, CDC guidelines. That's apparently not enough. So now we're going to have random COVID testing for these kids. What happened?
Going to school.
Are you there?
I'm right here.
Oh, there you are. Now you're there.
You
actually logged off because it just said host has joined the broadcast.
Well, I've been here the whole time.
Yeah, well, you dropped out.
I hope we're not going through this again. Anyway, and I think it's a clear night. I don't know. But anyway, I would not be comfortable with my kid getting a swab up his nose, especially if I'm not there to supervise.
Yeah, I don't know how this is going to work out. We haven't heard anything official from our kids' schools yet, but this is the latest thing that's being bandied about by our shitbag mayor and asshole governor. So we will see. I guess in other news, we're like, in the fucking flood area because it's been fucking raining since Monday.
Now we're going on there.
Oh, now we're going on there.
Now we're going on there. I'm sorry. We needed Phil a while ago, but now we don't need on Phil. So I'm going to turn the radio on and kind of do that. Away we go.
Initiate countdown.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is a production of the Cave Crew Radio Network at cavecrewradio.com.
There was a time when the world turned their back on men.
Men with a dream and savage yearning within them. Legions compelled by passion that knows no boundary. A consuming flame that defies plausible explanation. Battling the forces of domestication, they find the courage to band together to experience the awesome power of being
I mean, we got to solve through that. Yes, and I'm into, I say this with all due respect.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Tonight's broadcast of the masculine feminist has been commandeered by the secret society No Ma'am.
I'm gonna go to a place like a shot and a beer, steak, man. Saying we can stop, get pancakes, and then we'll get laid, all right?
Why do you drink ice cold beer on a hot day?
Mr. Clevin, what else are you gonna do with it?
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
The Yankees are champions of baseball. It's a power play goal.
This is Cave Crew Radio.
Indeed it is, ladies and gentlemen. Cave Crew Radio is the name of the show. My name is DK. I am live in my cave in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. It's great to be here with you tonight. We are live on Facebook. We are live on Cave Crew TV over on YouTube. And of course, at cavecrewradio.com. We got, I think, a great show lined up for you tonight. We got a special Halloween announcement. After me being persecuted about past Halloweens. We can get into that in a few minutes. But yeah, great to have everyone here. Thanks for joining us. Season 7, Episode 2. And hey, let's get right into it. So live with me tonight from the epicenter of Lord knows what, but it always seems to be something. Let's go over to Queens, New York.
Yes, live from Queens, New York. I am Sir Bib B, and this week we are the epicenter of all things having to do with a Plex Media server. That's been my actually 2 weeks now. Ripping all of my, now I got all the equipment to build my Plex Media server behind me, and I've been ripping all of my Blu-rays onto the 4 terabyte hard drive that I got and putting them on Plex.
So what exactly is a Plex Media server? Are you starting your own Hulu, or what's going on here?
No, so Plex is an app you can go on. It's actually a channel too on Retroplex and all of this stuff on the movie channels. But Plex itself is an app. They have live TV on there. They have its own movies and all of that stuff. But you can sign up for an account and get yourself a Plex Media server account. So what that is you connect it to a hard drive, an internal hard drive within your house, and where you store all of your media files, your music, your movies, what have you, pictures, whatever. So for Plex Media, I connected. I bought a NAS, which is called a network attached storage unit. I have a 4 terabyte hard drive in there, and I also just got a 12 terabyte hard drive. So I got to put that second away. So I'm going to have 16 total terabytes worth of free space that I could use to put my movies on. And then what I do is I rip them into video files, and I map them to my Plex server. So then when I go on the app, all of my movies that I've ripped into, and I've separated them all into various categories, I can go on and watch a movie whenever I want.
I have several questions.
Sure.
not to steal your forte, but first of all, a 12 terabit hard drive. What is something like that go for? If you don't mind me.
This is it. I have not taken it out of the package. I'm trying to get to the light. There you go. You can see
Very
12 terabyte.
small. Hang on, we can always bring you up to full screen here. Very small.
Well, it's a hard drive. It's not going to be big. It's
Well,
a
remember
12.
hard drives? They were like, okay, so
that is my 12 terabyte hard drive. I haven't installed it yet, so I've kept it in the packaging.
now installing it, is it as simple as a USB or?
Yeah, it's a plug and play. So what happens is in my NAS box that I have back there, it has two bays. One of which I've put in my 4 terabyte hard drive, and the other one's open. So I'll just pull that bay out, put the hard drive in, snap it back in, and it's a plug and play. It reads, so
one to accomplish this in the first place would need a NAS drive.
It's preferred to get a NAS drive, but you can use a computer as long as it has enough hard drive space.
Okay, so this. What's this server you were talking about again here?
So it's Plex. If you go to plex.com, you can look and you can find where it says, sign up for a Plex media server or whatever it is. You create your own account and then just map to where you have your video files. And,
right.
You refresh it and there you are.
So this has live TV.
It does.
And
it's not live TV in the sense that you're going to turn on and see ABC. What it is it has various channels where they have content that is live, but like there's one channel that's like the Forensic Files channel. It's just going to play Forensic Files all the time, but it's like live TV. So it's on a schedule. It has commercials and stuff like that.
So you have the technically the Bib B channel. Would someone be able to sign up to your channel if you made it shareable to access your 38 terabytes or whatever you're up to now?
No.
You
you have to. There's the live TV side of it, and then there's the Plex media server side of it. The Plex media server side, you have to sign into your account to see it. So like you would have to know my login in order to see all of my stuff.
Right, but you could share that like a Netflix.
No. Well, if I gave you my personal login, yes, then you could go on and watch my movies. But I'm not going to give out my personal login. It's not like a Netflix account where you can make up your own login and view my movies. That's not how it works.
Well, perhaps to me you would. I'm very good friends with you. We've shared very tender and personal stories throughout the history of Cave Crew Radio over the past 7 seasons.
This is quite true, and I currently have 110 movies on there and 77 episodes of various television shows.
Excellent. So you probably know where I'm going with this. So what would it take for Cave Crew Radio? We've got 7 seasons worth of shows. We could upload the videos. How would we go about getting a live, what do you call it again? Plex?
Well, I don't know how to do it live. It's a Plex media server, but it's just for personal use.
No, but you're saying they have these channels so we have, as you know, after tonight, we're 3 episodes away from 250. That would give a lot of viewing in one big loop. And at a gigabyte a show, we need a pretty big hard drive to load our server.
Right, but remember, the live TV is actual television shows. Like I said, there is a Forensic Files channel. There's movie channels that have all these B movies that you've probably seen once in the 80s. There's music channels. There's video game channels, stuff like that. So there's not stuff where we can just create our own channel and it'll be live. I'm sure you would have to pay a ton of money for that.
Okay.
So that's
Just,
that's
just
not
an
something.
idea. We're always looking for ideas to get out there. People are stuck at home. The second wave is coming. The big Roni. Hey, let's stick on the Cave Crew Radio channel and actually catch up on what the hell these guys are talking about in season 7.
Yeah, unfortunately, we can't do that through Plex. It's just a place where you can store I can store all of my movies in the cloud, and I don't have to have the physical media. It's all on a hard drive now.
All right.
Watch it, and it comes and it looks good.
I don't understand how it's a cloud if you have the actual physical hard drive, though. I'm not as technical as you. It can't be in a cloud because you've got it on that 38 terabyte mega Plex that you've got going
Right,
on.
but you access it through the app, so you access it through the cloud app.
So it's going from the mega hard drive up to the cloud, out to your own personal Big B television network.
Correct.
In layman's terms.
In layman's terms, yes. I'm pulling it up on my phone now. Hold on.
Just very fascinating stuff to kick off the show, folks. We like to break in gentle, and this is great.
So this is
okay.
my
Let's screen again
Plex.
here.
This is my personal Plex media.
Right spot. Okay, so there you are. This is the
you
Plex.
You can't really see all the categories, but I have action, comedy, drama, so forth. So let's pick comedy, and there you go. So these are some. Oops.
Now, does this automatically go to every TV, or you can do that on an individual TV?
So it's an app. So I have the Amazon Fire Stick. So
Right.
I just download the Plex app on the Amazon Fire Stick, and then no matter what TV you have it on, you can watch. See, so I have
watch
various
movies. Can you watch different movies on different Plexes on the Amazon Fire Stick?
You can actually. My wife was in the bedroom watching one thing. I was down in the living room watching something else.
So I could be watching the live Forensic Files thing, and my wife could be watching some downloaded Hallmark on another TV.
Correct. Yes.
This is fantastic. And I do have the Amazon Fire Stick. I do not have. It's been put away. I do have a 1 terabyte hard drive, but I must upgrade.
Well, I've found I when I bought this, I didn't know how big movies were. So
they're what, a gig, 2 gigs each?
Well, it depends on the format. So this is what I found out. So I bought an initial 4 terabyte hard drive because all the recommendations were if you're just starting out, get the 4 terabyte hard drive and get this NAS box and all that. So which is what I did.
These are such cool terms, ladies and gentlemen.
And remember, NAS stands for Network Attached Storage. So anyway, I got this and I started ripping my Blu-rays. I have a ton of Blu-rays, and Blu-rays are very big files. You'd be surprised. They are on average, some more, some less, but on average about 25 gigs for one movie.
Really?
Yeah, that's a Blu-ray. Now, if you're just doing straight DVDs, they're about 2 to 3 gigs.
What's the benefit of the Blu-ray?
Well, Blu-ray in and of itself is a higher video quality. So when you're
25 times the storage.
Right. So when you're ripping the movies, you could see the details behind it. So DVDs are an MPEG 2 and Blu-rays are MPEG 4. MPEG 4 is a higher video quality. So that's the difference. That's what takes up more room. So that's what I found. So obviously my 4 terabyte hard drive is filling up quickly because I have Blu-rays. I do have a bunch of DVDs that I'm putting on there too, which is helping, with storage. But that's why I got the 12 terabyte
disappointed drive. When you watch the DVD.
Some of them really look terrible. I must say. Really? My wife wanted my wife, we have a binder full of DVDs from however long ago. And as we're doing this, she's like pulling out all of her movies. She goes, I want, in the drama category especially, I want all my chick flicks in there. I was like, okay, whatever. So one of them being Titanic. I ripped it, and it was one of the earlier ones that I did. So as I'm ripping them and I put them on Plex, I'm looking at them real quick to make sure it came out okay. And it's in letterbox form, but it's like really small and crappy, and it doesn't fill the screen, and it just looks terrible. I'm sure if I had the Blu-ray, it would look so much better, but
there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We are switching from comedy and weird news and politics to tech TV. You never thought you'd find it here.
Well, and keep in mind, last week we were discussing your brand new gamer computer with two hard drives. One of them, which you just mentioned, is a terabyte. So we're upgrading our lives as far as tech goes.
Right, but I would not be able to store Cave Crew Radio Blu-ray technology on there.
Well, I've discovered that. After doing some research too, and obviously what I've seen ripping it, DVDs are about 2 gigs, some more, some less. Blu-rays are about 25 gigs, some more, some less. If you were to do 4K, they are each 100 plus gigs.
Holy shit. And you would still need the processing speed to make the effects come to life.
Right. So and the Blu-ray player, like I bought an external Blu-ray player for the computer, because you have to connect the box to a computer, obviously, to see everything and to do the transfer.
Right, 'cause they don't come with CDs or DVD players anymore. This thing has nothing.
Right. Yeah. So I bought an external Blu-ray drive, and it doesn't even read 4K. Like I have some 4K movies because I got a 4K TV upstairs. It doesn't even read 4K, which is fine. I'm not wasting 100 plus gigs on one movie. That means I could put 10 movies on a 1 terabyte drive.
Remember, we used to have Beta and VHS, and we used to have remotes that had cords with them, and then that magnificent thing called the DVD, which I still thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now it's useless compared to 4K. And remember, a hard drive of 125 gigabytes used to last you a lifetime.
I have an external hard drive here that I bought when I first started doing the radio stuff before Cave Crew Radio and all that. Back in, I guess it was 2008, 2009. That was 500 gigs, and it was like, wow, that's huge. That's a monstrous hard drive.
Never going to use it.
And I still haven't used it all because I'm just putting music on it. Music files are relatively small, and I have thousands of songs on there. But now compare that to my 12 terabyte hard drive that I just got.
Right.
It's crazy where we're going. And to put it even in more perspective, when you look at your smartphone, right? This has more computing power than all of NASA had in 1969 to 1968 to send a man to the moon.
I believe it. My new phone that I just got, I believe it was last Christmas, 128 gigabytes. That's a lot. I used to have like 8.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge for a phone.
And now we have like unlimited data plans. Like that was unheard of back in the day.
It's crazy where we're going. I can't believe that I have 16 terabytes worth of storage available to me. It's crazy.
That machine. The FCC is going to be all over you.
They actually cannot be all over me because these are my personal movies that I have purchased, and it is not illegal to make copies of your movies that you have purchased.
Right.
Every single one of these movies I bought.
If you were downloading from like, I don't know, Pirates Bay or Kick-Ass Torrents, then you're putting yourself at risk.
Correct. But every single one of these is my own personal DVDs that I bought in the store. Actually, I don't know if you can see it, but right there.
Support as an artist yourself. Now, ladies and gentlemen, those of you just joining in, Big B was a player, a bass player in a rock and roll band that toured. So you believe in supporting the arts. You don't believe in ripping.
No, I'm not gonna steal anything. Like I said, I'm pointing out now. If you can see right behind me, all of these These are all my completed, and there's actually more behind the poll. You can't see.
I'll just bring them on.
Okay, yeah, so you can see a little bit of it. So those are two piles of Blu-rays and DVDs that I've already completed ripping. These are mine, so this is not illegal. This is my video collection that I am now digitizing.
Right. All right. Last question before we move on to other things, because believe it or not, we got a lot to get to tonight. How long does it take to rip a Blu-ray into the what do we call it? The pack, whatever. Plex. I was close.
It takes approximately half an hour.
Okay, not bad.
It's not bad. And some of them can't be read for whatever reason. Like a couple of mine have scratches on them, so I can't. It can't read them. But that's okay. For the most part, they're all getting through it. And yeah, it's about a half an hour. DVDs are less because they're smaller files. So
right.
The
Bib B television network, ladies and gentlemen. It's private. He refuses to share, unable to share. But you too can get in touch with Bib B at cavecrewradio@gmail.com, and he can instruct you. Or maybe he'll do a how-to YouTube video for the Cave Crew TV on how you can set up your own Plex for your family. Now, of course, you'll have to go and buy all those movies if you don't already have them.
Correct, and it'll cost about with me because I bought a refurbed computer as well. All in cost to start up to do this is about $1,000.
Oh, not bad. Not bad. It's about the price of my computer. So there you go. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, before we move into the meat and potatoes, I was promising you a major Halloween announcement. Now, just before I make that, Bib B, of course, was badgering me last week and probably several episodes through the years that I have brought in disappointing guests. The Bigfoot guy who didn't want to tell us what Bigfoot did because of his church, the clown that never showed up, the scary clown. I can't remember the rest. It's been a complete kerfuffle. We usually dress up in costumes and stuff like that, but I do want to bring this in with a special scary sound effect here. Ladies and gentlemen,
coming to you from the dark, scary, slimy place.
Everybody loves Halloween, ladies and gentlemen. And this year on Cave Crew Radio, we are bringing back Raymond the Amish comic. Now, you might be asking, excuse me, why are we bringing a comic on for the Halloween special of Cave Crew Radio? Well, number one, look at him. He looks like Isaac from Children of the Corn. But number two, Bib B, the reason we are bringing Raymond the Amish comic is he's been doing his shows live on YouTube because obviously as a comic he cannot tour during the COVID. But he also has a special thing where he tells scary stories by the campfire.
Ooh.
And he is going to give us a special, exclusive scary story by the campfire just for Cave Crew Radio.
Nice.
He thought that I only wanted him on for the scary story, and I said, no. You've missed Bib B a few times. We love hanging out with you. Please stay for the entire show. And he said, yes, I am in.
I can't wait.
So there you have it. Raymond, is it Amish? I always say it wrong, right? Raymond, the Amish comic.
The Amish comic. You always say Amish.
Amish. That's the Canadian way to say it.
A.
Amish. Exactly. See, you nailed it.
That's the interesting thing. You are obviously Canadian. I never hear you say for anything.
That's because I hang out with you and some fool from England. So I know I'm like a Southerner would be in the U.S. I'm like a Southerner Canadian.
Gotcha.
Anyway, folks, stay tuned for that one. That's Friday, October 30th.
Can't wait.
One last thing before I move into our first part. Are you still guaranteeing victory for Donald Trump in 3 weeks, 17 days, whatever it is?
Yes.
He is. Okay. This one kind of ties into that. Let's go into it.
Okay. This is another public service announcement brought to you in part. Shut up, punk!
Big B's going to kind of be all over this one, I'm sure. But the headline reads, the smoking gun this week. You might say, hey, smoking gun, fake news. It's not fake news. Smoking gun has broken a lot of critical crime-related stories in the past.
Mm-hmm.
They do say that Hunter Biden was seen smoking crack during a sex act. You're going to find tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're still on the sex act, porno, priest. We're running a series. As emails reveal, he did introduce the Ukraine gas exec to his then vice president father. Hunter Biden was reportedly seen smoking crack during a sex act in a video revealed along with emails that allegedly shows he did introduce a Ukraine exec to his dad when Joe was vice president.
Mm-hmm.
I do have an email here, or a text, I guess it would. No, it's an email. It's from Vadim Polzaharsky from the Ukraine to Hunter Biden. Dear Hunter, thank you for inviting me to D.C. and giving me the opportunity to meet your father and spend some time together. It's really an honor and a pleasure. As we spoke yesterday evening, it would be great to meet today for a quick coffee. What do you think? Could come to your office somewhere around noon or so before on my way to the airport. Best V. And I can't read the language that has been sent in. Explosive emails appear to show that VP Biden met with Burisma exec Vadim Pohorsky while on a trip to the U.S. This, by the way, is from the New York Post. A spokesperson for Joe Biden denied any such meeting in a statement on Wednesday. Among the files reportedly is a 12-minute video of Hunter engaging in a sex act with an unidentified woman. All kinds of shit here, Big B, but I'm going to let you enlighten it because I know you're an expert. Here's a fact. Here.
Well, there's another picture. You see that picture of Hunter Biden sitting there, like holding his chest in the bathtub or whatever the fuck wherever he is. There's another picture of him sleeping with a crack pipe in his mouth.
I saw that one too, and it's got a circle around it. Yeah. So, and we all know he's had his dealings with cocaine and prostitutes, and paid for his girlfriend to get an abortion or whatever it was. Hunter Biden's a piece of garbage. But yet he sits on the board of Burisma and some other companies in China, which again has close ties to former Vice President Joe Biden. But amazingly, you'll never hear the mainstream media bring this up. Here's the deal. Why are they not impeaching? Well, I guess you can't impeach Biden because he's a nobody.
Right.
But why is this not weighing heavy? Trump's taxes, Trump's emails to the Russians, everything's, Pelosi, the ghost of Christmas past. She's been on that since the beginning. But why is this getting swept under the rug?
Because they don't want any bad light put on Biden. And it's obvious that the media itself is on the side of the Democrats. You look at the town hall that happened the other day. I didn't watch it, but I've read everything about it and seen clips and all of this. It was softball questions to Joe Biden. Nothing brought up about this, and nothing's ever going to be brought up about this unless he's going on Fox News, which he won't. So, or One American News, which again he won't go on. So this is all just being swept under the rug because they don't want to put a bad light on Biden because they already know he's basically not going to win. But if this breaks and Biden gets hammered by this, there's no way he wins. I mean, and this is actually, what he did was bordering on a crime. They blamed Trump for all of this quid pro quo stuff. It's actually Joe Biden that did all the quid pro quo, but they won't address it. They will do anything to sweep things under the rug in order to try to beat Trump, which is crazy. They have their own personal agenda. They don't care about the law, the rule of law. They don't care about the Constitution. They don't care about anything. All they care about is beating Trump. And it's crazy. And the fact that, Joe Biden it's not made up to say that he is losing his mental capacities. You hear him talk. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know the days of the week, what day of the week it is. He has no clue as to, he's even said on multiple times that he's running for Senate. He's running for the president of the United States. He doesn't know where he is. His mental capacities are diminishing. And, they don't want to, this is the candidate that the Democrats put forward. So they don't want any bad light put on him. I mean, he puts enough bad light on himself. They don't want to add to it by, making this be part of the mainstream media.
I have a question. And how is this allowed? I find over here with the Canadian media, you have your people that hate the Liberal Party, you have your people that hate the Conservatives, but everyone's kind of given a fair shake. Equal hate, equal love, whatever you want to call it. You pointed to the fact that Biden is he's living in a world of unicorn and rainbows when he's being interviewed, and yet Trump, he's still going on about the white supremacists and lying about his tax. How come? How is that allowed, I guess, is my question. How is it allowed that the American people are not getting a fair shake? You're going to be hard on one, you be hard on the other. You're going to be light on one, you be light on the other. I get it. This is crazy. It's like a lynch mob after this president. Whether you like him or you don't, I'm sitting here as a Canadian on the outside going, this is not fair. The first debate, the guy was coaching fucking Biden through the, it's like he was in the debate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't understand it. You should have a non-partial election and let people say, okay, Trump's an idiot. Fine. Don't vote for him.
And, leading up to 2016, that's pretty much how it was. You had, it was always fair down the line in these debates. Whatever it was, town halls, you had some tough questions, you had some soft questions, but that was equal for both candidates, right? Come 2016, and Trump comes in. Now, we all know who Donald Trump is. This is the reason, and this is why the Democrats and liberals across this fucking country still don't understand, still don't get it. The reason why we elected Donald Trump is because he's not part of the establishment. He's a guy who speaks his mind. He has balls. He doesn't care if he looks stupid. He gets things done. And that's by the last 3 years up until COVID, we had a great economy, jobs, record low unemployment for minorities. He was empowering women, all the stuff that in 2016, we were going to be in World War III and everybody was going to lose their rights and blah, blah, blah. The exact opposite happened. He's been nominated for 3 Nobel Peace Prizes for being instrumental in peace agreements within the Middle East. He's the only president to not start a new war since George Bush the first. He's actually withdrawing troops from the Middle East and is promoting peace throughout the region. He won't get covered by that, though. Nobody will ever say anything about that. It's just that he says bad things. And that's the other part of it. The other part of it is him not being a Washington D.C. insider is one. The establishment, Nancy Pelosi and all them hate that he's not a Washington D.C. guy, that he's an outside businessman, and that he's a brash businessman that speaks his mind, and they'll tell you to go fuck himself. Go fuck yourself. The second thing is he does the same thing to the media. He calls out the media for the piece of shit that they are, and they don't like that, so they're not going to cover him fairly. I mean, in a way, he does it to himself, but you can't be mad at that because he's just being him. He's not being fake. He's the first president in my memory that has said something. He's going to do something on the campaign trail, and then when he's president, he actually does it. Everybody else makes all these grand promises, and then when he gets into the office, let's push aside.
Here's the deal. Just a quick side note. Kyle James looking much better than Biden's son in that in his profile picture. Great to see you, Kyle. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for everybody. Throw your name in chat. We'll put you up, and we know you're watching. Just throw something in chat. We'll even if it's something you disagree with, we'll deal with it. Hunter Biden, ladies and gentlemen, a crackhead porn star. And where is this dude right now? Is he like in getting better?
Oh, who knows where Hunter Biden is right now? You think they're going to trot him out anywhere anytime soon? Hell no. He is under wraps somewhere. The DNC is making sure that he does not see the light of day anytime soon, so any reporter can get in his face and maybe say something.
He's probably hidden away with the monks with an 8-ball, and
he's got strippers, and 8-ball, and a ton of crack. He's going to be fine until after the election.
And he's got a Plex full of Pornhub.
There you go.
You know it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Big B is still guaranteeing victory for Donald.
And let me tell you why I guarantee this. Let me tell you why I guarantee this. If you look at they have rallies, obviously individual rallies. The president goes out, and even in a COVID-19 world, his rallies are packed.
Yeah.
There's a ton of support behind him. Same thing in 2016. His rallies are packed. Joe Biden comes out, and there's like 6 people there. There is no, aside from the outspoken few that, that'll say Biden 2020 over and over and over again, there is no support behind him.
I'm so excited for Joe Biden to get kicked in the balls. I really am.
And mark my words, if Joe Biden wins, Kamala Harris will be president within 6 months.
Oh, I realize that Hillary will arrange somehow for that 7 shades of Clinton.
Yep.
Seth will be involved. Hillary will be possessed by the evil demon Seth, and Biden will end up sleeping in his apnea. And
keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, all of this country is in the position it is in right now because that old fucking nasty bitch didn't win in 2016. That's the whole reason.
Goes long before that.
No, because if you had a Democrat or a Republican,
blowjob under the desk from what's her name, Holinsky or whatever her name was.
Right, but if you had a Republican president or a Democrat president, no matter who won, the country was like, all right, the other side won, whatever, we'll just move on with life. But 2016 was different.
Let's regroup. Time out. Well, then let's get it back together. We'll get them the next time.
Right, but 2016 was different because that miserable bitch didn't win. She made a big deal about it, and it's all come out now that she's lied about. Well, we all knew that she lied about the Russian collusion, and now it's come out that Obama was at least knew about it. She's the one that put this country in the position it's in right now.
Kyle James thinks that Hunter Biden is in a cave in Afghanistan or maybe on Epstein Island.
He could be on I wouldn't be surprised if he's on Epstein Island.
No, having the time of his life.
With crack, cocaine, and hookers.
Who knows? I want to add another thing here really quickly, folks, before we move on to anything else. Once again, I don't know how it's always happening, but these T-shirts are on sale again at cavecrewradio.com, and the link provided in the chat for just $13. They must know that something new is going to be coming out very soon. Get those Lockdown 2020 shirts, and while you're at it, get a mask. The masks aren't going away anytime soon, are they, Big B?
No, I have it right here.
Yeah, I've got mine. I've got mine somewhere here. Hang on. Yeah. See if I can show you one.
There it is.
Oh, wrong way, camera.
There we go.
Radio. And like we said when we first made them, if nothing else, if these things do not protect you, they are certainly a novelty item. Something that can be in a pokey, right? You don't see those anymore.
Absolutely.
Mr. Rogers' original sweater.
Years from now, we're going to look back on 2020 and say, "What the fuck happened?"
Yeah,
and we have, at least I know I do, and DK does. We have a mask to look at it, and then we can tell stories.
And say, other shows, they had stickers, and of course we have T-shirts and stickers, and Big B's got the book that everything is written in, and you can order one of those too if you want to play at home, and keep your own notes and try to keep up with us. You can do that too, but the mask, it's something. It's like our grandfather's used hanky that we found in Grandma's drawer when everybody passed away. Oh, what's this? It's filled with snot. It's like a face cloth, but it's a hanky. They go out and buy Kleenex in those days, right? They just had granddad's hanky.
Blow snot in it and put it back in your pocket, and then use it again. It's fucking nasty.
These damn dogs are irritating the shit out of me. Anyway, you ready? We've got a boatload of shit, and I'm sure you and I can have some fun with this. Let's see what kind of, get my jingle pellet up. Let's see what kind of news we can get in here, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's weird or real news. If you look at the poster this week. All right, so I did forget something before we get into the news. I wanted to show you this, ladies and gentlemen. You're far right of the screen. Choo Choo Stu has not been with us over the past couple of weeks. Choo Choo Stu is now a trainer, what we might consider to be senior management. Now, I don't have any old ones to show you. Maybe next week I can pull one up. But he used to have a toque and, be dressed like some kind of ruffian. He was a union guy. Mm-hmm. But look at him now. Look at
that. He's management all the way now.
We got to get the new, not showing any of his tattoos. Nothing's happening. Look at this. Choo Choo Stu. Look at the serious look on his face. He's probably following every rule. He doesn't have any earphones in. He's not listening to podcasts. He's got all these buttons around him in case the vomit crew is called. He's the man.
I've never seen a more well-dressed train driver in my life.
Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, our tribute tonight, Choo Choo Stu, the trainer. I forgot to bring that up, Big B. I almost am afraid to be in his presence.
He is, as the song goes, moving on up.
Yes. Do you think it'll be different when he joins us again? Do you think perhaps he might have a more serious side to him?
I think he's going to have an air of how would I put this? an air of superiority about him.
Yes, like a little bit of a thumb on us now. Like I'm just a little better than you. He looks like he should be Prime Minister of England, right hand of the Queen, telling her how it is.
Absolutely. I could picture him being in some form of political office, making grand speeches on the floor of Parliament.
I think that may be, and he's got the look of it, the intensity, the burning in his eyes. It's not the fun choo-choo stew that we're used to. The guitar playing, beer swigging, wearing musical Christmas socks and banging Aborigines that have one leg. We can't have them back.
You know how you always say if your 20-year-old self could see yourself now, what would they think? If Choo-Choo Stew's 20-year-old self, when he's banging the Aborigine, could see this picture,
yeah,
what would that Choo-Choo Stew say?
He'd say, "Look at me now, Ma, top of the world." Even Kyle says the dude looks like he works for NASA. He's intense. He looks like he's got a finger on the button to start a nuclear war.
He controls everything.
Everything. We can't wait to get him back and see the new Choo-Choo Stew. He's better than what's his name, Sean Connery in that Red October.
He is a man not to be trifled with.
Yes. Do not mess. I think we should change the name. Commander Stew.
Ooh.
Commander Stew. Doesn't quite have a ring a bell to it, but can we get a T-shirt made of this? Can we get someone to make a cartoon of this and make a new T-shirt? Commander Stew of the Starship Allotment. I don't know. Can't wait to talk to him. He's so intense now. I wonder if he still eats beans for breakfast.
I'm curious now. Should I send him, like I send him, everything for the allotment every year? Do I send him anything now, or is he too good for that?
Well, remember, he did not go to the allotment at all. Remember, he gave it to his wife. And he's like, "Oh, I'll go next year."
But I mean, look at him now.
I'm not interested in it anymore. I'm going to be a trainer.
He's a very important man about town. I don't see him going to the allotment anymore. That is for peasants now.
Like, could you imagine if he was ever even in the presence of Urine Stencelli? One of his gypsy assistants would have to lay down their jacket for him to cross. He's not worthy to go on Urine Stencelli. He swipes at the average man now.
I think if he was ever to go through Urine Stencelli now, one of his assistants would hold his nose for him so he wouldn't smell the stench of the urine.
If he has the Queen's wave.
That's right. As he's walking on the coat of the gypsy, so his feet do not touch the soiled ground of Urine Stencelli. He is far too important of a man to be dealing with such trivial things.
He probably walks in stilettos now because the ground is not worthy of being within 6 inches of his feet.
No, absolutely not. I mean, he should not come in contact with such filth as the ground.
See Choo-Choo Stew in stilettos. Anyway, I digress. We do have stories, and I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I thought we had everything under control and ready to go for the week, but yeah, that's an airplane seat. And yeah, there's pastors again this week, and this one stole the show. This one won my heart. Usually, when I sit there on a Wednesday or a Thursday, and I say, these are the stories we're going to have for the week. But this came up on Fox News Detroit. Headline reads, you're going to have fun with this one. Detroit woman says she woke up to a pastor peeing on her on a plane. Again, folks, this is legitimate news from Fox 2 Detroit. A well-known pastor from North Carolina is accused of relieving himself on a sleeping woman in the back seat of a Delta plane as she returned to Detroit from Las Vegas. Alicia Beverly had just spent a great time in Las Vegas and could not wait to get home Monday night. They were on a red-eye flight and pretty much everyone was asleep, including her. Alicia said she was curled up in the back seat next to her sister when suddenly she woke up to the feeling of being urinated on. It felt warm. Just in case any of you were curious what it felt like. It felt warm, like the side of me felt something warm, she said. In her sleepy haze, right at eye level, she saw something very unexpected. I jump up and I seen this private area out and I scream, and then I woke everybody up, Alicia said. By that time, I actually looked at him and I see him, shake myself off, and I say, I'm like, this man just peed on me. I looked and there was a puddle of pee in the seats. This is better than Dr. Zeus. She screamed and got the attention of everyone on the plane, including an off-duty officer who rushed over and restrained the man, a well-known pastor from Carolina. According to the sources, the pastor had an apparent reaction to a sleep aid. He didn't say anything the whole time he was standing there, Alicia said. I don't usually talk when I'm peeing either. Alicia said after being treated like a bathroom, she sat in those wet clothes for several hours before landing at Detroit Metro. There's so many questions I know. At Detroit Metro in Romulus, the pastor was taken into custody but hasn't been charged yet. The FBI handles incidents in the air, and they will make a decision on the charges. Alicia naturally is filled with anxiety. I left work yesterday because I couldn't stay, but I had to tell them why I needed to leave. It was a lot. My anxiety was really high. Literally, since then, I have only gotten 4 hours sleep. She said she's grateful the officer who was there and took charge of the pastor, and something is being done for his actions. The pastor's camp has decided not to comment on the story.
I wouldn't think they would.
Over to you, baby.
I would. Now, where was the young lady sitting? Was she at the window seat, in the aisle, or in the middle? Do we know this?
Big shout out to Jason Scott, by the way. We haven't seen him for a while. Great to see you, Jason. Beautiful. By the way, Jason is, we're going to get back to this, but Jason is also Canadian, and very proud of him for going out with his in-laws and his fiance or whoever she is, and having a restaurant bought Thanksgiving. You knew Jason Scott would not cook a turkey and entertain. Anyway,
wonderful pictures that he posted, though.
Looked delicious. It was so, they were all dressed up. Jason, of course, had his hat on. But you know, dinner looked delicious, and hey, at least it wasn't Domino's. Anyway, go ahead. So I'm assuming she was in the aisle.
Well, I that was one of my questions. Where was she sitting? Because if she's sitting at the window, that's a lot of maneuvering to get there and to pee on specifically her. That's more than a reaction to some sleep medication. And by the way, who gets up and pees on random people during as a reaction to a sleep medication?
Well, have you ever slept like a slept walk? Have you ever woken up? I haven't personally. I know Stu has stories that he did, and you know, but you know, people sleepwalk, or you know, at least when I have to go, I make it to the bathroom, and I went, oh, I don't remember going to the bathroom or something like that. You know, you're half asleep. My question is, what's going on? Is Armageddon about to happen? Are we in for something that we're not expecting? Is it really the end of the world? Because these priests, these men of the cloth, are really starting to freak me out. 2 weeks in a row, one makes a porno at the altar with two girls, and what were they wearing again? I can't remember. Corsets. And then this guy casually wakes up. Everyone's sleeping. Everyone had a great time in Vegas. They all went to see Wayne Newton's fucking castle. And this guy just whips it out and begins to urinate on this woman. And could they at least have got her some form of change of clothes, like a blanket or something? Like she had to sit in, and they didn't say what part of the flight they were in. She said she was at least 2 hours wet.
And the smell too. I mean, did they change her seat at least? Like, because she said she woke up and there's a puddle of pee. So, obviously her clothes are wet. There's a puddle of piss around her. Did she get to sit in another seat?
And exactly what did this guy drink on the airplane to cause the massive amount of urination? That's my next question. This poor young lady, and then she had to leave work because of the anxiety. And by the sounds of the story, if you read between the lines, which usually we have to do in these stories, is she's waking up with nightmares of satanic priests urinating on her.
No, my favorite part was that she said she had to tell them why she was leaving work early. So it was my anxieties are flaring up. Oh, why is your anxiety flaring up, Susan? Whatever her name is.
Yeah, Alicia, I believe it was.
Alicia. Yeah. Because a priest pissed on me yesterday on the flight home.
Yeah. No, she was very clean about it. She used words like pee and urine.
Yes.
Yeah.
A person of the cloth peed on me on the way home.
Imagine being the human resources manager and trying to keep a straight face.
Oh, my God.
And, of course, we are concerned about your anxiety. We do have the 1-800 number that is covered under our benefits if you need help, Alicia. However, this is completely confidential. Can you tell me, do you know the cause of your anxiety? Well, I was flying home from my vacation, Mrs. Sampson, and I was sound asleep right next to my sister, to clarify for Big B, in the aisle seat. And the pastor, the well-known pastor from North Carolina, was urinating on me.
Now, was she sitting near the bathroom?
Now, imagine this. Well, they said she was at the back. It did say in the article she was at the back of the plane. But I want you to put yourself in someone else. So imagine you're one of the other passengers. Say you're somewhere around row, aisle 15A.
Right.
You're snoozing off.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice flight. There's not a lot of turbulence. And all of a sudden, you hear Alicia screaming from the back of the plane. Oh my God, he's urinating on me.
I want to know what it was like to be the person in the aisle seat across the aisle from her.
Right. And you wake up and you see like the pastor's buttock halfway down, the crack of the top of his ass or something. I don't know. But is everyone from this flight traumatized? Is Delta offering them a coupon or something? Like, well, what's become of this? They never finish the story. No. They always leave it up to us to get our own bizarre take on these things.
So what our takeaway questions from this that we need more clarification on? Why wasn't she given something, a towel or a some sort of clothing from somewhere. Was she able to move her seat so she's not just sitting there for 2 hours in wet clothes and a piss puddle? And the person that sat directly across from her, across the aisle from her in the same row, did they get to move their seat? Because, they have to smell this.
Right. Everyone has to smell. That air just keeps recirculating in the plane. And my question is, too, at some point, you hear the ding. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. We are now going into drier air. Like, what the fuck did the captain say about this? They've always got something witty to say. We're flying into Detroit Metro Airport. It's currently 72 degrees and clear, and we are expecting a smooth sailing. We are going to take one trip around the sun, and everyone take a deep breath. And at the point when the urine smell saturated the plane, is that something that would trigger the mask to drop?
Oh my God. Can you imagine that sitting there and it's still 2 hours until you land and you have to smell that? And they don't have a mop on the flight. There's no janitor on the flight.
At least like a club soda, those little bottles of club soda. We need more details.
We need a lot more details.
You went to journalism school. You write these articles. This is not a Mickey Mouse thing. This is Fox 2, Detroit. Like, this is when Stephen King would be a great reporter, because you ever grab a Stephen King book? They're like 700 pages. He spends 2.5 chapters on a brick on a wall. If I was reporting a story by Stephen King, I know I would get the answer to every single question. Not these little haphazard things about, what about the guy 2 rows up? Interview some, not suspects, but witnesses or people that were present.
Who was the one that had to clean it up, or was it just left there? Did the steward,
we've heard on the trains, they have the vomit crew. Everything stops. How do you stop a plane in mid-flight?
Maybe we should ask the high exalted one, Commander Stu.
Commander Stu.
To see if there's if maybe the London Airport Authority has a piss crew that the U.S. could learn from.
I wonder if anyone's ever peed on anyone on the subway.
Well, of course they have.
Yeah,
it's the subway. Everything goes on in the subway.
I don't know. That story, ladies and gentlemen, it's definitely going to be hard to top tonight. I'm going to see what else I got in here. I do have a few more stories. Let's what's next? Well, this was kind of good because this isn't as shocking or anything like that, but I want you to put yourself in this woman's frame of mind here, or where she was at. We did the gender reveal a couple of weeks ago, and that was a pretty big lot of fun. Mm-hmm. How about this? Put yourself in this man's spot.
Okay.
Woman ambushes fiance at work in wedding dress, demanding he marry her on the spot or they're done.
Aha.
Wait to hear where he works. A woman turned up at her fiance's place of work in a wedding dress with a bridesmaid and a pastor in tow, demanding her partner marry her right then and there. The unnamed woman was looking for her fiance, who was working in the store in Las Vegas. Back to Vegas we go. Dressed in a white wedding gown, carrying a bouquet, she ambushed her partner while he was stocking shelves with Halloween costumes, demanding he marry her right then and there. The eyebrow-raising scene was captured on camera and shared in 2 videos on TikTok by a user named @BoyMomAshley. It has since gone viral, with the footage being watched over 5 million times and garnering over 580,000 likes, Bib B. In one clip, the bride can be heard saying You put this ring on my finger 2 years ago. It's time to do it or get out. Yeah, we're getting married right now or I'm made. By this point, the crowd is gathered in the shop to watch the drama unfold. The bride turns to the onlooker and waves, explaining that she's just trying to give her guy a chance to finally commit. We're getting married now, or like it's over, she adds. Her potential husband scratches his head. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I promised you, it's a Target.
I was right.
Stock shelves at a Target. You cannot say this woman is a gold digger.
That's for sure.
The couple then wisely decided to take their conversation outside. As they walk away, the Target employee can be heard saying, "Could someone at least told me about it?" It's not clear what happens next or whether the pair did in fact get married. Of course, we're left to make up our own story, Big B.
Wait. How do you write a story about this and not have an ending?
I haven't.
I mean, that's the whole thing is you're going to marry me or we're breaking up.
Yeah.
So the logical ending would be what happened.
Right. You know what I think our problem is tonight is the real fake news. Let's see where this came from. What paper did this come from? These are all from like regular newspapers. I find stories. Okay. So I guess the new direction of this show is for us to fill in the blanks. We're the modern day Paul Harveys. We're the rest of the story.
What would you do if Mrs. DK came to you all those years ago as you were stocking shelves in a Target, if just say you worked there, and said, "We're getting married now or we're done"? Would you go through with it?
That one thing I don't like to be is embarrassed in public. The wife and I have an agreement. I don't know how it is at your end. You can give your view in a minute, but arguments are private. It's not something that's done in front of friends. It's not something that's done at a wedding. It's not something that's done in a Target. If there's a disagreement, you will never see us screaming at each other in public or any. Yes, we will talk about this, the two of us, when we get home. Right? It's always been the thing, and thank God she thinks the same way. Neither one of us are into big things at a party or making scenes. That would have been deal breaker. Thanks for giving me the heads up.
And I agree with you 110%. If my wife would have come to me and if I was stocking shelves at a Target all those years ago and said, "You're going to marry me now or else," I would have said, "Bye, so long. I have Halloween costumes to put out. I'll see you later. Leave the ring. Leave the ring on the table. Leave the ring on the table."
Really, like you would think that would be something. Whether maybe you're living together, maybe you're not, but you're out for dinner after work, stocking the shelves with Halloween costumes, and you talk. Look, you either marry me, or like I really want to get married. I want to have a family, and if this doesn't fit for you, I really love you, but this isn't going to work. You don't invite a pastor to the fucking restaurant. And notice there's a pastor in this story again.
It's a running theme now. Now let me just say that my wife and I were engaged for quite a long time, and I think I can relate to this guy because he's working at a Target. So it's not like he's got money. You just said she's not a gold digger, but it's not like he's got money falling out of his ass.
Right.
He's stocking shelves. He's putting on Halloween costumes at a Target. Back when I proposed to my wife, I think I was working at a beer distributor, making $5 an hour.
Right. We're not always where we are today.
Right. So we didn't have money to do this. So you wait. You're engaged. So that means, there's a commitment there.
Right.
All the wedding is a piece of paper. But obviously she wants the ceremony and all this stuff. But
Right.
you know, if you
And what a beautiful
Wait.
wedding it is. Let's bring this back on Solo here. What more could a woman dream with? Who's with her? Emily? I forget the name now. I'm losing track. But the girls in the fucking miniskirt probably not wearing panties. That looks like the pastor that made the porno. But anyway, if that's the husband in the back, I wish I could zoom on this picture. He's got a fucking mask on.
Yeah, I would assume that's the fiance because it looks like she's holding his hand.
Yeah. And, you know, fuck, would he like to grab that gorilla costume and hide?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's obvious he doesn't have a lot of money, so he's saving for a nice wedding. There's nothing wrong with that.
Now,
who's the fucking chick in the miniskirt with no underwear on?
Look at her. I'd say you're out. See you later. I'm gonna bang Trixie or Emily or whatever
her name is. But she's okay. She went along with it. She's like, oh yeah, this is a great idea. Let's go to Target. Let's dress up and walk into Target and do this. This is a wonderful idea. Does she not have any common sense to talk her friend out of it?
Now I'm gonna play a little bit of devil's advocate here with you. Do you think this was all, you know, we've been talking about what did they get here? I'm not going to be able to find it, but 16,000 people commented on the video. That's in the verge of is this a TikTok thing? Did her and Emily sit there, you know, drinking their chamomile tea? You know, let's do this. This will get us a lot of views. And old Henry, he'll just be at Target.
It's very possible that this was a set-up thing just for social media. But if that's the case and this guy knew nothing about it, that's even more of a reason to kick her ass to the curb.
Well, I definitely would be over. I'd be like, I thought I knew you. I gave you the ring 2 years ago. You know I'm making ends meet here. Minimum wage. Stock in Halloween costumes with a mask on. I can't breathe. I got a red shirt on and beige pants. I look like Jake from State Farm, and you come and show up at my work and cause a scene.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and you know, even if he said yes and they got married, this is indicative of his future.
Right. What would the manager say? Here we are talking about what's her name, Alicia, after going to the human resource manager, getting peed on. Here now, Henry, let's call him. I don't think they ever gave his name. Now the manager is watching on the hidden cameras or whatever. And he's like, what the fuck are you doing? Halloween is 2 weeks away. You're supposed to be restocking the Avenger costumes on the shelf. And who's this bitch dressed like Carrie?
Right.
Yeah, there's so much more to the story, ladies and gentlemen.
And of course, we have no ending.
I think
it's amazing. It's amazing that we have no end. Everybody's there. Everybody has a phone. They went outside. It's a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
They went outside. Okay, what happened when they went outside? Did he murder her? Did he throw her in front of a car? Did he say yes? Did they get married? Did they part ways? What happened?
I think we should start a new show. I know I'm always, you know, eyes in the sky, reaching for the stars. But I really think we could pitch one of the networks and saying, you know, doing some kind of a show, the way it ended. So remember back in 2018, we reported on a story about the guy that stepped in dog poop, tracked it all over the house, whatever, and they left us hanging at what happened. We're here to give you behind the scenes. This is what happened. This, you know, people need finality.
Absolutely. And if now I get what you were saying before that, you know, could this be a stunt for social media? Absolutely, it could be. But in that same vein, there would be an ending somewhere. Because of course, you know, somebody would put it up. Somebody would be filming. Somebody would put it on Facebook.
And I don't know how the viewers think of us because we're not claiming things to be the absolute truth. We're just trying to give you a non-biased opinion of two possible endings and for you to make up your own decision, because unfortunately, this is what we're left to do. We're always left. It's like someone handing me a paperback, and right with the cliffhanger of the story, the rest of the book is ripped out.
Right.
And we're left to fill the blanks.
It's like when you're watching, when you remember, back when you were a kid, you'd be watching your favorite television episode, and it's coming to the point where the show's going to end, but the storyline is saying, how can they wrap it up in the next 30 seconds? And they can't. You see to be continued, and you got to wait till the next week.
Like the old Batman. Like when you were a kid, how disappointed were you when Batman would be hanging over the vat of quicksand, and Robin with his nuts tucked up his ass in that suit he wore. Holy cow, Batman. And then they'd come right in. Will Batman escape? Will the Penguin get his revenge? Tune in tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Right.
That's what they're doing to us in a modern day way.
That's absolutely what they're doing. This is a giant to be continued fucking episode.
A bunch of gypsy journalists is what they are. Fuckers. All right, let's see if we can. We got to see if there's another one we can resolve. There's a few more. Oh, this is a good one. We're having fun today. Keeping it light, ladies and gentlemen. After the Hunter Biden stuff here, let me get rid of this one. Come on, you can go now. All right, I got a couple more kind of light, funny ones here. Oh, look at this cute little Labrador puppy. Headline reads, a woman mortified after Labrador finds sex toy during walk and won't let it go.
Of course not.
A dog walker, just a dog walker, so it's not even her dog. This is good. A dog walker has shared her embarrassment after she spent 15 minutes chasing a pooch trying to retrieve a sex toy it had found. It's no secret that when dogs find a toy that they love, it can be pretty tricky to get it off of them. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, for one dog walker, the pooch they were taking care of took a liking to a rather embarrassing item. Clara Robson was out walking a Labrador named Charlie and thought he was playing with a stick. He looked like he was having a great time, so she decided to snap a photo and send it to the owner.
Ah, yes.
But upon closer inspection, she soon realized the 1-year-old pup had actually found a sex toy and was carrying around in his mouth. As if that weren't enough, the 33-year-old spent the next 15 minutes chasing Charlie around, attempting to retrieve the toy. She joked that it was especially hard to catch it as it bounced everywhere. Oh, Lord. Clara desperately tried to get rid of the unwanted item, but before she could kick it out of reach, another dog decided to join the fun.
Oh, it's a menage a trois.
Menage a trois puppy camp. Eventually, she managed to distract Charlie enough to hide the sex toy in a ditch. Oh, God, why couldn't this been on tape? Hang on, there's a little bit more. She later shared the photo of Charlie and his unusual find on social media. Of course, this one, though, only got 2,000 likes. She said he rounded down a hill, and at the time I didn't realize, but he came back up with it in his mouth. So many questions. From a distance, it just looked like a stick, and the owner had just messaged me to see how he was, so I sent the picture. 2 minutes later, she realized what it was. Straight away, I was like, oh, my God, Charlie, put that down. Please put that down, which made him want to play even more. Yeah, that's pretty much it. She just goes on to pretty much repeat herself. Let's begin with the questions.
Who's the person that lost their sex toy?
You and I are on the same page. Who exactly is in the middle of nowhere with the 12-inch purple dildo? And obviously it wasn't that good because they left it behind. Right? They hell with it.
Why are you carrying it with you in the first place? Are you that frothed up that you have to, wherever you are, you may have to do things?
And do you not have a bedroom or like a public washroom or?
I don't know. And it looks like from the picture, this looks like an alley somewhere, like an unkempt alley that the dog found this item in. So there's some lady in an unkempt alley pleasuring herself with a rubber purple dildo.
Right. And Lord knows, like, what do? Do you take Charlie to the vet? He looks like a great puppy.
He looks fine. I wouldn't take him to the vet. He's just having a grand old time. He has no idea what it is.
Yeah.
But again, who's the and let's say they weren't pleasuring themselves with it, right? They just had it for whatever reason. How do you go about losing that?
And then you gotta love what's her face. What was her name? Clara. When she joked, it was especially hard to catch because it bounced everywhere. And then let's again finish the story because you're the owner. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I really like Clara, Big B. She's going to take Charlie for a walk and give him a bath and pamper him, and we're away for a couple days. And Clara sends you this picture of your dog with a dildo in its mouth.
What would be even funnier is if the lady who owned the dog had the same type of dildo in their house. So when the photo was sent over, she thinks the dog took it from her house.
Right. Or you know what else I'm lacking in this is I would love to see photos of Clara chasing Charlie around.
Yes, absolutely.
Trying to get the dildo away from Charlie. I think that would have enhanced things.
Mm-hmm. And then okay, you get the dildo. I'm assuming she didn't have gloves because you don't expect this. So she's grabbing it with her bare hands to throw it somewhere, wherever she said she threw it into. Is she immediately looking for a bathroom to wash her hands?
I'm unknown in the story. That's for you to fill in. And again, I'll put Charlie up here one more time. For those of you on audio, I apologize. You got to use your imaginations. That's why I like podcasts, right? But look what's hanging out. She grabs onto the head and the shaft of that dildo.
Yeah.
And her and Charlie are having a tug of war. And are there any other people around?
And wait, what happened to the other dog?
Hey, back at you. There.
Hi, Scott.
Yeah.
What happened to the other dog? The other dog was just mentioned briefly that the dog got involved, but then that's it.
And hey, Richie's out there too. Hey, hello, Dong Gone Lol. Great to see all you guys out there. We miss you. I'm sorry. What was your question?
What happened to the other dog? It was mentioned that another dog got involved, but then nothing else.
All right, let me go back to the story here. So hang on.
We had the menage a trois with the two dogs and the girl and the dildo.
Right, I remember the menage a trois. So he came back up with it and said, look like a stick. Oh, yeah, here it is. She added, he just thought it was a toy. Oh, there was a tug of war. Another dog was trying to take it off him. Every time he dropped it, I tried to kick it away. It was the three of them. It was two dogs. Doesn't say what kind of a dog it was. Again, fill in the blanks. French poodle, Rottweiler, I don't care. That's up to you. So another dog was tugging on Charlie's newfound toy. And the girl, during the battle between the two dogs, in their feverish momentum, was trying to kick it. Oh my God, I'd love to see this on a video. Two dogs having a tug of war over a dildo.
Yeah.
Man. All right. I got to squeeze in this last story because I don't know. It all kinds of falls in together tonight. They're all really stupid stories, but I'm having such fun, like putting the end to the. I really feel like Paul Harvey. Do you know who Paul Harvey is?
I am not sure.
You don't remember the old DJ? It was like back in the day, probably before even TV. He was like, I'm Paul Harvey. Here. The end of the story. Look at this cute little girl. Headline reads, college student gets stuck in clothes dryer after having a few drinks.
Okay.
I will never stop making fun of her. Her friends eventually called the local fire brigade. This must be somewhere in Stu's land because we call it fire department for assistance. Oh, yes, it is. A college student in the UK needed to be rescued by her local fire brigade after getting her legs stuck inside a clothes dryer that she shares with her roommates. Good old Rosie Cole, age of 21, says she and her friends were drinking wine and tequila on a Tuesday night, no matter, when she was challenged to fit inside their shared appliance.
Mm-hmm.
I was with my other housemates, and one of them dared me to get in, said Cole, a student at the University of Hull in East Yorkshire, England. Me thinking there was no chance I'd actually fit, decided to try it. And to my surprise, it seemed easier than I thought. Cole climbed in legs first and even managed to shimmy her hips in. Shimmy. Before she realized she was unable to uncross her legs inside the dryer. Cole's roommates were also unable to help her free from her hindquarters from the tiny, warm prison. The group eventually decided to call the local fire brigade, although they were barely able to convey the situation without breaking into hysterical laughter. Footage filmed by one of Cole's friends, however, seems to indicate that while they were certainly concerned, they were also extremely amused by her predicament. This may sound a bit weird, but our friend is stuck in the dryer, said the 911 call. Yes, in the dryer, she repeats. The arriving firefighters were able to free Cole within 20 minutes, but her friend Lydia told SWNS that the entire ordeal has likely resulted in a lifetime of embarrassment for her friend. Any questions?
You know, pornos start off this way.
She's such a cute girl. Now, what was the one line? How she legs first amended to shimmy.
She shimmied
shimmied her hips.
She shimmied into the dryer.
So it looks like her ass. Like, is this when she's stuck? Because it looks like her ass is going to get stuck. At what point do you go? Yeah, like I can't uncross my legs. Like
well, yeah, I would assume this is when she's stuck because they got chairs underneath her to hold her up. But even before then, why are you agreeing to this?
Well, she's on tequila and wine, right? So that's a pretty weird mixture to begin with.
Okay, I've been on 9 different forms of alcohol. I never tried to put myself in a dryer.
No, me either. Someone should have turned it on. Then she would have been quite perplexed. We should have. I don't have anything else. She got stuck in the dryer, ladies and gentlemen. We should have a vote. Those of you in the chat, if you want to participate, you're more than welcome. Who is the woman of the night? Rosie Cole, stuck in a dryer. Then we have, what was the other one's name here? Clara Robson, dog with a dildo, or was it Alicia?
Alicia, yeah.
Alicia, the girl who got urinated on the plane.
Oh, my vote goes to her all the way.
Who is our woman of the year? Never mind. Yeah, Scott would have turned it on too. Yeah, I know you would. Scott, you're just evil like that. Two dogs, one girl. I missed that one from earlier. Anyway, seriously, we should, in these stories, who was the best character in all the stories?
My vote goes to Alicia.
Yeah, Alicia. I told you. I had all these stories lined up, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a great show. We're going to have energy. And then I read that, and I'm like, fuck me. This one takes the cake. Being urinated on in a plane.
Absolutely.
While you're sleeping.
And you have to sit in it for another 2 hours.
And she explained how warm it was. I felt this warm liquid on me.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Did I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that Raymond the Amish comic is going to be joining us for Halloween. Scott says the dryer lady. He really liked how she shimmied her hips in there.
Nice.
Anyway. Yeah, that's all I got. So there were more posts, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, in the Cave Crew Radio Facebook page group. Sorry, there were great stories. Big B commented on one. I have questions, and then there's one about the woman who decided not to marry the ghost, and that's kind of a Halloween story, and I just couldn't fit them in. I mean, sometimes you're sitting there on a Monday as a host, and you're going, "Shit, man, what the fuck are we going to talk about?"
See, the one that was posted by our pal Jason Scott that I have questions on, we need to address next week.
Next week, guaranteed. A little bit of a teaser. Several ounces of gold in an anus. Also involves an airplane.
Yes. So go to the Cave Crew Radio Facebook page to see what we're discussing, what we're talking about, and we will discuss it next week.
If you want a teaser for next week. We are what, though? 2 weeks? 3 weeks? Halloween?
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Raymond the Amish comic, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not seen him, he's been on the show now 2 or 3 times. He's going to yell at me because I should be pronouncing it Amish. But aside from that, he is a ball of energy. He is nonstop. And he is from 1910.
I can't wait to call him Amish when he's on the show.
Oh, he loses his mind at me. Yo, fucking... I can't wait. Raymond the Amish comic, ladies and gentlemen, with a very special... scary story by the campfire. You know what he told me, Big B? He actually does it by the campfire. So I don't know if he's going to multiple cameras or how he's going to. This is truly going to be a successful Halloween show. Not like a Bigfoot guy who didn't want to be embarrassed in front of his church.
I can't wait.
So anyway.
Bigfoot guy, if you're out there, you sucked.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you like a 2-minute warning because I know sometimes there's a delay. Now is your chance to vote for the name of the episode. Yes, we still do it. What would you name Cave Crew Radio Season 7, Episode 2? As usual, I've been reading all the stories, and Big B, hopefully you don't have like 19 for me to...
F4.
All right. You always you can never narrow it down to like 2.
Well, I write down whatever I write down. I mention just because it may strike a nerve with somebody else.
Hey, let me ask you a question though, before we go to this. How many times has your favorite been overturned?
Not many.
We have. I'll write that down, Rich. We have plane pissing passenger. It kind of has a ring to it. Or plain pissing pastor, perhaps. Good one, though. I like it. All right. What are your 4?
I'm not going to go in any particular. Well, the order is from earliest to latest, and you can figure out from there. First one was Commander Stu of the Starship Allotment.
Okay, Commander stew of the Starship allotment. I should have taken shorthand in high school. All right, number 2.
It felt warm.
It felt warm. Right.
Next one. She was 2 hours wet.
Okay.
And finally, Charlie and the purple dildo.
Oh.
I know which one I like.
It's going to be interesting. All right, folks, here's what you got. From Rich in the chat, we got plane pissing passenger. I still think that's kind of catchy. We have Commander Stu of the Starship allotment. That didn't catch me the first time, but now it did. It felt warm. She was 2 hours wet. And Charlie and the purple dildo. I'm going to go first because I want to see if I negate your then we got a watery landing from Scott Morris. There's a good participation tonight, guys. I like it. A watery landing. I'm going to nail it down between Charlie and the purple dildo. And I don't know why. I just like it felt warm. So what was I on or off?
You were 100% on. My favorite is It Felt Warm.
Yeah. What do you think of that, ladies and gentlemen? It's just a catchy, quick name to a story. Great honorable mentions to a watery landing and plane pissing passenger. I love that. We should send them masks. That's what we should do. I should get masks and send them out to people. Because I do like those. Those were both very good, very creative, showed you were paying attention. But you got to get into the intimacy of the story. Just imagine poor Alicia sitting there. It felt warm.
Yes.
That's all she could say. even Rich out there saying it too. Just imagine if you're being peed on. How would you respond to that? How would you explain it to people? How would you make them feel the way you feel? Alicia nailed it right on the head there. It felt warm.
There's no other way to describe that.
Guys, it's great to be back with you again this week. We are live on Facebook. We are live on our YouTube channel, and we are live at CaveCrewRadio.com. We love having you out there. Let's get Big B up here. Here is our Cave Crew Radio masks, which for another hour and 20 minutes are on sale at CaveCrewRadio.com, 35% off.
Scotty is asking, do we have masks? Of course we do. Here is our Lockdown 2020 mask. DK, if you could post the link back in the chat so Scotty can...
I can do that. Hang on.
Yep.
Give me 1 sec here.
This is our Lockdown 2020. I have another mask here. I can't find it at the moment. But this is our Lockdown 2020 mask. We have other masks as well. But this one is the favorite. There you go. There's Bordeaux.
And then link up in the chat. There you go.
There's the link.
You can get your Cave Crew Radio 2020 lockdown mask. Just click on the link, Scotty. It'll give you a price, 35% off for the next hour and 20 minutes. We can tell you they're made well.
They are made well, I must say. They are really made well.
Flimsy mask. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Bordeaux. Showing you is he wants to wear a mask during these times as well. And a very small portion will go to Cave Crew Radio, maybe $1 if you buy it. But more importantly, like we were talking about earlier, is you can get a mask anywhere. You can buy one for 50 cents. But, imagine in 5, 10, 15 years, a shirt's a shirt. There's been shirts forever. But at what point would you ever have merchandise that's a mask? It's more nostalgia than it is to protect you.
Absolutely.
Let us know, Scotty. If you get one, send us a picture. We'd love to see you in a Cave Crew Radio mask. Now, Choo Choo Stu bought the really expensive one. Big B and I just went for the plain, which is still a very well-made mask.
But what did Stu buy?
Stu bought the one with the, I don't know, ruffles in it. It was
really?
Stu next to
Well, I mean, remember, he is a very highfalutin individual now.
Yeah, he's at much higher altitudes in the atmosphere than we're at. We're just the average people who do the show until he decides to show up again on some random.
And people of his ilk can show up whenever they want.
His ilk.
His ilk.
It's new words. All right, that's all I got. It's time for me to go have dinner, and the weekend begins. Scotty, Rich, everybody else that joined in. Jason, I can't remember the other guy's name. I feel bad. Anyway, all those of you that came in to chat with us tonight, we really appreciate it. We love you. We'll see you next time, next Friday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, cavecrewradio.com. Until then, follow us on Twitter, Cave Crew Radio. Join us on our Facebook group, and you can see a preview of some of the stories that are coming your way. Big B.
Later.
Adios. See you guys. Be good. Wear a mask. Wear a Cave Crew mask.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!